Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful, and we're beautiful, and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be a contendership for one of the stupidest decisions I've seen made by a company. HBO had the rights to make a Harry Potter series. Brilliant. The money basically just comes in. You don't even have to print it. It just flows down from the sky like rain. You have Harry Potter. Oh my God. That is a windfall to end all windfalls. So how did they mess it up? How did they mess it up? How did they take the golden goose, decapitate it, and then burn it in the pan, making chicken nuggies? How did they take this monolith and how did they reduce it to rubble so that they could play little finger paintings in the dirt? Well, here we go. They cast Severus Snape as a gay black man. No, this isn't a joke. No, it's not a parody. It does sound like a parody. It does sound like something that content creators would make up to make a sensationalistic headline and sort of to make a punchline at their expense. But no, this is what they've done, and the series is dead. And I'll tell you why this series is dead, because some people might say, well, okay, not the best casting, but what's the big deal? The big deal is, and let me pull back here a minute. Let me, calm down a little bit. It's about trust. Trust is so important, and it has been neglected by Hollywood and a lot of these corporations for far too long. Trust is the name of the game. And after this decision, you have less than zero trust. You have negative trust. There's not a single person who looks at this decision and gets excited for the franchise, unless they're a mentally ill activist that nobody likes and nobody wants in their fandom or community anyway. I'll tell you what people are talking about as it relates to this, and it's not to the benefit of HBO, it's not to the benefit of Harry Potter. The number one thing that I've seen in response to this is this, right here. This image right here. This is what people wanted to see. If you had managed to pull this off, or something like it, you would have been celebrated, and people would have had a lot more trust. But it seems these people in Hollywood, they don't care about trust. They don't care about the feeling of passion and exhilaration from the community, from the fan base, which is everything. It is everything. Whatever critics may give a movie or a video game, in today's climate, it means nothing. And this is a decision that is going to appear to many to be antiquated. It's an old decision from like 2014, 2015. This is woke, it's DEI. There is no chance that this person has the ability to even try, because he has already been disqualified by the fact that the character, well, first of all, the character is more well known than the actor, and so my position is this. If you're going to race swap, you have to choose an actor who's more popular and well known than the character. Example, Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson was more of a household name than Nick Fury. Therefore, Samuel L. Jackson could superimpose himself on Nick Fury. Severus Snape is more popular than whoever this actor is. So he's not going to be able to consume the role. The role is going to consume him. And because he looks nothing like the character, unless they're going to digitally make him white and have a crooked nose and be sort of, just greasy, and unless they're going to do something that they've never done and it's HBO never would do, this is dead on arrival. And so we're going to watch this clip from Asmongold because Asmongold talks about this, but this is yet another reminder. It is yet another reiteration to anyone listening. If you get a job in Hollywood, if you get a job in a position where you're ever in charge of these decisions, you have got to put your ego aside and think about things in the long term, not the short term. There is no benefit to this long term. This is disastrous. This is disastrous. Do you understand that by doing this, you're declaring that not only is there going to be this problem, but it leads people as a gateway into, oh God, if this is what they've done, what other problems might there be? What other problems are we going to find? What other issues are going to be present? This is a huge, gaping hole. This is a big, warp-style black hole that unfortunately is going to tank everything. That's my opinion.
Severus Snape casting for Harry Potter? Yeah, he cast him as a black guy. It's the traditional race swap that's going to make everybody mad. It's going to be super divisive. It'll be bad for the show.
For those unaware, prior to hiring, he hasn't read the books. What?
So
Yeah.
the idea of a...
Yeah, I was talking about this. So the guy who is in charge of writing the show has never read the books and admits that the series would be very lucrative, very successful if he did a faithful adaptation. But HBO honestly hired somebody who had never read the books and thought, yeah, no, this is the best idea. What retards? And I'm not speaking like metaphorically. I'm not speaking like subtextually. I mean genuinely. What retards says, hey, we've got Harry Potter. Let's make a series written by somebody that knows nothing about Harry Potter. Who thinks that? Why is that guy not fired? More than fired. More than fired. And I'm not being, serious here. But that guy should be crucified in front of the building as an example to anyone else who would make such a ruinous idea. I'm speaking metaphorically, of course. But it used to be that when people would do things like this that would hurt a business, would hurt a brand, would hurt a family, they'd be made an example of. But these people, they're promoted. And there's no way that you can make sense of this. None. You had the answer. You had Adam Driver. Or if not Adam Driver, there are people that you could get that look very similar. Maybe an up-and-coming actor. Whoever it is. But the worst thing you could have done is chosen somebody who looks like this who's also gay. And what is gay having to do with it? Because if you look on social media, again, the internet is forever. If you look at what people are doing, if you look at what people are saying, this is the juxtaposition. This is what's being put out there. So you doing this has hurt your project. All the people working behind the scenes who don't agree with this, that are just trying to do their job, you would put them at risk. You've put this whole series at risk out of narcissism and vanity. Because this makes no sense. And so this guy says, whoever at HBO needs to hear this, casting a black man to play a white British Severus Snape doesn't give me representation at all. It gives me nausea. Because Harry Potter has been around for 28 years and 8 films. Which means you've had exactly that long to create a similar black series on your own. You chose not to. Well, it's not even that they chose not to. It's not even that they chose not to. They do have a black Harry Potter series called Spiderwick. Yeah, Spiderwick. It's terrible. They also, you're not going to believe this, they also have a movie series called the American Society of Magical Negroes. I can't believe that one exists. That is genuinely the most racist and just grotesque movies I've ever seen. Written by, I mean, if you want to watch what I think is peak DEI era entertainment in quotations, I would watch the American Society of Magical Negroes. It is just, it will make you uncomfortable because of how bigoted, how low IQ, how just devoid of any substance or class or decency or civility or anything the movie is or the dialogue is. It's profoundly gross. So to make him black now can only be to piss off white fans that made the series successful in the first place. It won't work. They tried it with The Little Mermaid, bomb. They tried it with Doctor Who, bomb. They tried it with Captain America, bomb. And like those 3 flops, white people will boycott and black people couldn't care less. Because the show is obviously being made by people who hate the franchise and its characters. This ridiculous DEI casting should have stopped by now, but obviously USAID and ESG, I like this guy, people are paying for it, so it's easy to burn other people's money. Keep it up, Hollywood. I love laughing at YouTube critics laughing at you fail. Incredibly based account. Trump won. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is this is the sort of response you see on the internet. Nobody is celebrating this. This isn't some win. And I think that the more that this goes on, we can see. Oh, God. We can see that people have had enough of it. And I think that the people working on this understand that. I think they do. I think this was a project that was made out of spite by people that have unrestricted, unfettered access to the levers of control of that company. And it is a boneheaded move to give them levers of control. Why would you bring in somebody who doesn't know anything about Harry Potter? You want to get the most loyal Harry Potter fans in there. You want to get J.K. Rowling in there. You want to get all of these people in there who know what they're doing, who can make the most faithful adaptation imaginable. That is the criticism that people had of the movies, is that it wasn't as faithful to the books as they would like. So you said, well, we're going to piss on that. We're going to make them even less faithful to the books. You're mental. Mentally retarded doesn't even begin to describe you. You're willing to burn a pile of cash to send a message, but the message you're sending has been rejected by sender. Unreal.
Ever Snape casting for Harry Potter? Yeah, he cast him as a black guy. It's the traditional race swap that's gonna make everybody mad. It's gonna be super divisive. It'll be bad for the show.
For those unaware, prior to hiring, he hasn't read the books. What?
So the idea of a incredibly rigorous text-to-screen adaptation is, I think, a probably safe bet to be a success. I think the pleasures that can be derived from that are probably not going to be for me because I didn't read all the books.
Well, the dumbasses did it. They actually race swapped Snape to be black. You know, a character that's vividly described in
Damn, what's with that nose? Holy shit.
books as being thin, having sallow skin, a long crooked nose, and black greasy hair. When they heard black and greasy, they must have thought, oh, let's cast a nigga in this role. It's so insulting, not only to the character of Snape, but to the actor that's going to be betraying him as well.
That's what's sad, man. They basically set this guy up to be like their virtue signal target. Like, I feel bad for him, right? It's just like Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, exactly. It sucks.
Because he is going to get so much shit because y'all gave him a lazy race swap just because
He
he's
took the
black.
role. He did.
Just lost all the goodwill that you had going into the show because you want a fucking virtue signal.
Yeah, he right.
I'm out of the show.
And the reason why I think is because, like, you know, if they're gonna try and do something like this, they're gonna be doing some other weird shit with the show too, right? The moment I see something like this, I'm thinking to myself, this is gonna be some bullshit.
Prepare for Ron to be turned black because, you know, he's the poorest one in the wizarding community and he's a ginger. Rearrange the letters and the word ginger and you'll...
Oh my god. Ginger. Oh. The mysteries of the world revealed. But notice this. They make these decisions that make no sense to anyone outside of their bubble. Not even black people are going along with this anymore. You have overplayed your hand and you have underestimated the audience. And so, do I think that there's a way that they could recover this? No. I don't think there's a way that they could salvage what they've done here. I just don't. I don't think there's anything that they could do. That's pretty damn funny. But you have managed to take the conversation from Harry Potter and make it be about the failings of your company, the failings of the person in charge of writing, and they're going to get hate and criticism, as they rightfully should, and they should. Now, I'm not one of these people that thinks that, I can just do whatever I want and not get any feedback or criticism. I think that the work can be criticized, the decision can be criticized, and the people can be criticized. That doesn't mean sending threats or anything, because, first of all, these people... what you have to understand is, to these people, a death threat is a form of currency. That may be something that you've never heard before. But in Hollywood, these people trade virtue and, social credit and all that stuff. They trade that like it's currency. So making fun of these people, like mocking them, belittling them, is 1,000 times more devastating than sending any sort of death threat, which is why I never encourage that at all. Because these people literally get off on it. I bet you they print out their death threats and jack off to them. These people are freaks and they're degenerates and they live off that. But when you make fun of them, when you take a shot at their pride, like they're not even important enough to really, no one's going to send you a death threat because you're not important enough. When you take a shot at their pride, that's when they really start to care. So that's my position on that. Always is that these narcissists, they're just the worst. Anyway, the correct decision would be to cast Adam Driver or somebody who looks like him. To bring in somebody who can... I honestly would have picked him. I would have done whatever it took to get him on board. I said, look, you're the guy. You got the acting chops. You got the look. You're definitely our guy. What will it take? And here's the thing. It's not even about my personal politics. It's not about my personal beliefs. It's not about my personal opinions. At the end of the day, and this is something that these short-sighted narcissists in Hollywood don't understand. The way you get people to remember you, the way you get people to care about you, the way that you get people to listen to what you have to say as it relates to things outside of your craft, which, could be filmmaking or writing, is by continuously producing superior quality work over and over and over. And then people will listen to you. Like, George R. R. Martin is a fat turd. He's a lazy, incompetent, politically retarded individual. But he created the, A Song of Ice and Fire, and people love those books. He also wrote on, a lot of those older Disney movies and stuff. He's done a lot of good work. But people will forgive the brain dead, retarded takes that, George R. R. Martin had on Trump and stuff, because you're producing good, superior quality work. If you can't even produce quality entertainment and you're an insufferable twat, that's it. And so the moment that you've race swapped Snape, one of the most beloved characters in the franchise, and you did it with somebody who's a homosexual black man, which may not have anything to do with it, but it is something that's going to be in the consideration because of the climate that we're living in, because of the reality of what you freaks have done to culture for the last, 15 years. Because you have done so much damage, people are going to be apprehensive, and they have every right to be. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk about this because, boy, oh boy, these people genuinely do not ever learn. They are a different breed of human, aren't they? Incapable of learning, incapable of growing, incapable of adapting, not really being able to display empathy or humility. These people genuinely are the worst. The most retarded people I've ever seen, because they fail and 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 then blame you for it. Like it's my fault. Like I would be stupid enough to cast a gay black man as Severus Snape in a Harry Potter reboot. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.